In this next series, we will show you how to build a positive working relationship with your child, focusing on making you and playing with toys fun together. We will look at how you can embed many opportunities for learning within fun that you create with your child. So we'll look at setting up the environment and making it easy for them to want to interact with the toys, but also enticing them to come to you to play and to get some of the pieces that they need for the toys. Then we'll be looking at paying attention to how your child likes playing with those toys so that you can join in the way that they currently do and make yourself an integral part of the activities. Then we'll look at teaching some basic listener skills within the play that they already have. And finally, how to follow through those expectations that you have set up in the first three. Young children learn the most when they are interacting with the materials in their environment and the people in their environment. So we want to create many fun opportunities throughout the day for your child to interact with you and the toys. The first thing that you need to do in order to create many of these opportunities is to simply observe your child when they are free to play in any way that they would like to. You want to pay attention to how do they naturally play with the materials so that you can begin to join in with that. So first you want to look at, do they like to play alone or with other people? And when they like to play with other people, do they want you to actively engage with them, or do they merely want you to be sitting and joining or perhaps passing them pieces? Then you want to look at how they play with the toys. Some children prefer to explore novel ways of playing with the toys, and other children like to repeat some of the same routines with the toys each time. And finally, you want to look at where they like to play with the toys. Do they prefer to play on the floor, on the table, on the couch, in their room, in the kitchen? Really look for these details. Then once you've seen some of those things, now pay closer attention to how they're interacting with each toy. Perhaps they always start with the same pieces when they're building a puzzle, or perhaps they like to play with things where they can really feel them between their fingers. Or perhaps they like to play with a toy that makes a sound, but they're always going to build it before they make the sound. Really just sit and even take out a piece of paper and take some notes and really pay close attention to how they play with it. Once you've figured that out, now it's time for you to figure out how to add yourself into that play so that you become an integral part of the toy and that your child looks forward to you being there whenever they're playing with those toys. Now I'm going to show you some different toys that your child might like to play with, and I'm going to model how you might start to join in with that play depending on how you see them enjoying playing with it to begin with. For example, here I have an inset puzzle, and I look and I see that my child really likes this puzzle, but he always starts with the snowman first. So when I set up the environment, I'm going to have the puzzle all ready to go, and I'm going to have the pieces here on the side, but I'm going to start by giving him the snowman pieces. Then I've watched, and I know it doesn't matter what order the other pieces come in, so I might hand him each one at a time. If your child likes jigsaw puzzles, watch and see what order they seem to put the pieces in, and if there's one that especially matters. If your child always starts from the bottom up and likes to go from left to right, you can pass her the pieces in the order that she likes to put them in, so that now you're part of the puzzle, but you're not interrupting any of her current routines. If you have a set of blocks like these at your house, but your child doesn't like to build with them yet, perhaps they like to do things like dropping them into a container and listening to the sound that they make. If that's the case, then you can pass them the items to drop in, or you can hold the container to make it easier for them to drop them in and to make the sounds different. If they like to build with them, watch and see how they do it, and you might notice, for example, that they're making a pattern here. In that case, make sure that you pass them the pieces that would help them to complete the pattern. There are many different ways to play with Play-Doh. Your child might really like to have some flat pieces and use some cookie cutters, but a lot of younger kids have a hard time getting the Play-Doh flat enough. If that's the case, then just do that part for them so that you make it easier. And then if they have trouble pushing the stencil down, just go ahead and put your finger on it too so that you can help them to cut out the picture easily. Some kids haven't learned how to use Play-Doh more traditionally yet, and they like to do things like take a big old lump and pick up the smaller pieces with it. And if that's the case, then you can have some smaller pieces broken ahead of time to put out for them to pick up. Remember, you want to show your child that your goal is the same as their goal. You want to help them to play with the toys in the way that they like to, as easily and simply as possible, only now you're a part of that too. So look for multiple opportunities within the same toy in order to help them do that. For example, with this garage, if they like rolling the cars down the ramp, put your hand out to make it easier in the same amount of time to put the cars down many more times. Catch it and pass it right back to them so they can put it down the ramp again. Or if they like to put their cars into the garage holes here, you can pass them cars, and then once they've put them inside, keep driving them out and have them come around so they can do it again. A few things to remember. First, start by sitting and observing and watching the details of how your child plays with the toys, so that then when you jump in and have fun, you can play with the toys in the same way. Remember to help out and do just enough to help your child do what they would like to do with the toy without too much. Narrate your child's play as they're playing, and you can narrate your own play as well, but don't give a lot of instructions or demands. And make sure that you are anticipating your child's needs so that you can give them exactly what they need as they're playing.